Recently, the report submitted by a panel formed by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas recommended a complete ban on diesel-powered vehicles by 2027 in cities with a population of more than 1 million, and a push towards a transition to electric and gas-fueled vehicles. The Energy Transition Advisory Committee, chaired by former Petroleum Secretary Tarun Kapoor, according to the recommendations of the report, city transport should be a mix of metro trains and electric buses by 2030. Yet another key recommendation of the report is to phase out internal combustion-powered motorcycles, scooters, and three-wheelers by 2035. Soon after the recommendation of the panel came to light, the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas tweeted that the Indian government has not yet accepted the ETAC report. According to the panel, EVs should be used to replace internal combustion engine-based two-wheelers and three-wheelers by 2035. The report also suggested that new registrations should only be allowed for electric-powered vehicles by 2024 and push for higher use of railways and gas-powered trucks for the movement of cargo. But why does India seem to be in a hurry to phase out diesel vehicles? So these steps will help India achieve the goal of cutting its emissions to net zero by 2070. Being net zero or carbon neutral entails not putting more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. After China, the US, and the EU, India is the fourth largest carbon dioxide emitter in the world. However, because of its large population, it has far lower emissions per person than other developed economies. In comparison to US's 15.5 tons and Russia's 12.5 tons, India released 1.9 tons of CO2 per person in 2019. In order to reach net zero, the government has set goals to reduce carbon emissions by 1 billion tons by 2030 and to derive 50% of the country's energy needs from renewable sources by 2030 as well. It is interesting to note that during the past few years, fewer diesel cars have been sold. According to industry insiders, diesel-powered vehicles are declining in popularity and are being replaced by hybrid, petrol, and compressed natural gas models, with the exception of SUV and MPV types. The amount of diesel vehicles in the sector as a whole is declining. Diesel vehicles, which made up around 58.4% of the industry's volume 10 years ago, have come down to 17.4% in April 2023. The year before, the percentage was 18.6%. Several automakers in India, including Maruti Suzuki India Limited, Renault, and others, have already continued using diesel vehicles. While the government is still to accept the recommendations of the report, the push towards electric and clean fuel-powered vehicles is here to stay. And that is one crucial detail as a buyer you should keep in mind before purchasing a new vehicle.